This is Doug Scheiding, the Rogue Cookers, Texas Embedded Correspondent. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Now listen, Libertius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show. We talk about barbecue and grilling related items here on this show of only the highest importance. If you missed the first hour, don't worry about it. We're recording for podcast posterity and ease of consumption. You can find the first hour hitting your podcast feed at some point early tomorrow morning. Second hour will be hitting early on Thursday, and I'll tell you about Friday here in just 1 second. As you know by now, the Barbecue Central Show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on the show this evening, Sam the Cooking Guy for his first visit here in 2023. We say good evening to those of you watching this show tonight through one of our streaming platforms, video-wise, Facebook or Twitch/BBQ Central Show. You can also watch over on YouTube /RD Rempe. We also say good evening to the folks using our audio streaming platform this evening called Clubhouse. So if you would rather hear us and not watch us, Clubhouse is the way to do that. And let's go ahead and review the YouTube poll. Currently, 86% of you are saying hell to the na-na. You are not.
Andrew, you are
not going to do the butter candle trend on social media. Really? You really not? You've seen the incredible amount of views, the traction that it gains when your friend or your neighbor decides they're going to pull out their phone and record a video of them making the butter candle. But 86% of you right now are holding firm that you are not going to do the butter candle trend that is sitting on a bunch of the social medias right now, the TikToks and the Instagrams, all that fun stuff. By the way, you can follow me on all of those social medias at BBQ Central Show. Guy the Cooking Sam weighing in. I like how Greg is from Northwest Virginia and pretends not to know who Morgan Wallen is. Is Northwest Virginia an Ohio comment? Is that a backhanded blast? Because we all know that West Virginia is no place for me. No offense.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, if you can believe it. Episode 263. Wowee. Taking you back to January 7th, 2014, and once again making an appearance, me, all me. That's right. It's me. This time, I was doing a show from the basement of what was then my freshly built/finished home in the majestic, dare I say, booming metropolis of Wickliffe, Ohio. You might recall, as I had mentioned in subsequent weeks, there was a 7 to 8 week run in between homes, the Euclid home and the Wickliffe home finishing, where I did the show from somebody else's basement. You would know them as the Lavons of the Wickliffe Lavons, Ed and Amy. You heard that a few weeks ago in a previous Best Moments as well. But this one was from the new home in the new basement. And somehow I was able to do a show where I shoehorn my joy of being back in the friendly confines of my new home into murdering of a man down in Jacksonville, Florida. That's right. Somehow I'm able to tell you what a great time I'm having in my new basement. Oh, by the way, somebody in Jacksonville, Florida around that time in 2014 was murdered. Can I get a hell yeah?
Give me a hell yeah!
I did it. I will tell you, however, the reason for his ultimate demise, and I'm not going to blow it for you, but the reason for his ultimate demise is something that is, let's say, not uncommon in barbecue and grilling circles. In fact, I would say some people on social media look for this kind of thing to go in on whenever they have a chance. So be sure you are subbed up to the podcast feed so you don't miss out on this one, because you don't want to miss out on it. And don't forget, if you ever want to hear a guest or segment that you feel has been lost in the archives, which are now far-reaching and deep in the annals of the archives, email John, let him know what you'd like to hear, jon@thebbqcentralshow.com, and he'll do his best to meet your expectation. Here's a YouTube comment about the Noah Glanville segment, or as I mentioned it in the show open, a competing thought or a competing comment from the praise of Noah's origin story from last week. This one coming in from Mike W9458, because I continually love YouTube, and that's sarcastic. I really enjoy the show. I listen all the time, and I'll continue to listen. I think you were out of line by putting Noah on the spot, asking about his worst experiences in the military. I don't think it's right to ask veterans and first responders to share those memories unless you agree beforehand. If you're friends, ask away from the mic. I appreciate Noah sharing, but this was not the place for it. Again, still a fan, but wanted to pass that advice on. Please consider it. Thank you. Mike, thank you for the comment, and I do want to point this out. If you are in a like mind of Mike W., but you just didn't have the testicular fortitude to write in and take me to task on that, you should know this. I do have a very deep relationship with Noah Glanville. Did I outline everything that we were going to talk about? No. I think there's a big distinction to make here on a number of fronts, but two really big fronts. Number one is, I didn't ask Noah, how many people did you kill in war? I didn't ask that.
Get that big stuff out of here.
That's an easy jump to make, while what we were talking about had to do with war, had to do with his mindset while he was in it, and what he's had to deal with since he's been back from it. But never once did I say, how many people did you kill? I'm not asking anybody that. Much like I would never ask anybody, how much money is in your bank account? I'm not going to ask a veteran, how many people did you kill? Like, that's a no line, right? Secondly, Noah has told me on any number of occasions that he is an open book. Ask him any question. And this goes for any guest that comes on my show. If I ask you a question that you think is out of line, that you don't want to answer, that you quite frankly think is horseshit, you have every right to deny an answer or tell me I'm out of line or take me to task or say that's unfair. I welcome it. Sometimes the line not to cross isn't definitive enough. However, in this instance, I know Noah is an open book. He claims all the time, just ask me whatever you want. He'll make a decision on if he wants to answer it. And I know for a fact from having this discussion with Noah many times off the air, he hopes that more people like me, not in the military, not having war experience, or if you were in the military but didn't have war experience, to go talk to the veterans that saw war, that were in that time, and ask them, what was your experience like? What are you dealing with? Having people talk about it. He would much rather have somebody ask him about his experience and then have that person who's being asked to decide not to answer it for whatever reason, and their reason is right, by the way, if they don't want to. But he would much rather be given the opportunity to talk about it and talk about whatever emotional struggles he has or PTSD than consider what is the extreme alternative to not doing any of that, which is what? Committing suicide. And how many veterans are out there every day at least teetering on the edge of saying enough is enough. I've suffered enough. I can't get over this. There's no way out. If they're not talking about it with somebody, if somebody's not asking them about it, then that might be the only viable alternative that they're thinking of. And Noah doesn't want that. I certainly don't want that. And that's why I asked him about it. Because if he can share what he was thinking, maybe that encourages somebody in a similar situation who's not that open to go, this guy has done it. He's lived it. He's been in theater as I have. This is going to inspire me to figure out a different way than the way I was thinking I was going anyway. If I can do that for even one person, if Noah can do that for even one person, then that origin story and that the context of that origin story was a complete success. But know this, I'm not going to ask the stupid question. I'm going to ask the well-reasoned, well-thought-out, and considerate question. And then if we answer it from there, fine. If I'm denied, fine, we'll move on. Thank you. And I appreciate you listening and continuing to listen, Mike W. Sam the Cooking Guy is ready to rock. I am here to talk to you about week 26 of the Do Wellness David Leans program, davidleans.com/BBQ to sign up. Forget it. The new year is here, folks. There's nothing else that matters except getting into your best shape, whatever that means to you. Stop being fat. Look, I'm not fat shaming you. I'm just saying that if you have continued month after month to say, hey, there's something I gotta do. I don't know what to do, but I know I gotta do something. Just saying to myself, I hope I do something different, or I want to do something different, but you don't know where to go from here. I hear you. I mean, I wasn't a big fat ass, but I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be. So I took the bull by the horns. I got in touch with our pal, David McDowell from David Leans, the Do Wellness program, and he put a whole thing together for me. Met me where I was at, told him what I had at home, told him what I was looking to do initially, where I wanted to get weeks from now, and we're continually in conversation. At a minimum, 2 or 3 times a week, so he is around as he says. Now, some coaches are charging you up to $500 a month for a canned diet plan, 1 to 2 check-ins per month. Forget it. Partnering with David allows you access to a resource who's available effectively 24/7. $200 a month. Come on. What are we talking about here? Be held accountable. Maybe that's all you need. A little bit of a rah-rah, a little bit of accountability, and away you go. The website, davidleans.com/BBQ. That's davidleans.com/BBQ. And let him know the Barbecue Central show sent you. You're ready to rock. We're back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central show.
Welcome back. This portion of the show, aptly brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes, a host of accessories to complete that Pit Barrel cooking experience. Whether you're a beginner or professional, this is definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central show sent you. Sean Reed from YouTube weighing in. Can never get this message out enough for any PTSD sufferer. Sean, thank you for listening as always and watching, because you're watching, of course. My next guest is a YouTube cooking sensation with over 3.4 4 million YouTube subscribers, not to mention the bevy of Emmys, a Barbecue Central Show guest, Hall of Famer, and one of my best pals in life, both for food and for friendship, but not yours, and that's why you are jealous of me. It's Sam, the cooking guy. Hey, Sam. Happy New Year.
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I am absolutely jazzed to have you back on the show as we lead off 2023. Probably nobody more interesting for me to have as we turn a page from one year to the next.
Turn a page. Come on.
By the way, here's a instant chat coming in from Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue. Sam's mic works 99% of the time. Meathead's mic doesn't work 99% of the time. Look.
Wait, I was listening last week, and there were problems all over the board, man.
Yeah,
I do not know what was going on, but everybody was going down in flames.
What needs to be understood is this. Here's what needs to be understood.
Go ahead.
I have the embedded correspondence on. By the way, for anybody listening, this is totally not on the agenda, but this is how the segments run in case you're just tuning in for the show and you think we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of food stuff. That may or may not happen over the next segment and a half, 2 segments, but we're already off the rails, which is kind of common or commonplace for these kind of segments. Anyway, we have the embedded correspondence segment going on. For how long has this never been an issue? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the year, 2022 rapidly coming to a close, and not one, but 2 have mic issues. And to compound the issue, they can hear themselves through their mics, both Rusty and Doug. The problem is this. When the audio's coming back to me, which is the only audio that counts, I'm getting the computer mic, which is horrible.
Can I suggest a change in name for them?
Yes.
Not to embedded correspondence. How about dumb-bedded?
The dumb-bedded correspondence.
Dumb-bedded, because those 2 were mental cases last week.
Yes.
I mean, I could hear, as I listened back, what was going on. And they're like, no, my mic's on. I can do this. I can hear. It doesn't matter what they think. It only matters what the master thinks.
Right. If the audio isn't coming to me pristine, then there is obviously a glitch somewhere. Now, look, you can go back through the course of the show as I have been talking about the origin story of Noah Glanville from last week. If you recall, abruptly cut off, like right at the tail end. I don't have any idea why that happened. That was bizarre. We talked later. But
I blame it on Doug and Rusty.
It was obviously Doug and Rusty. We're in agreement once again. In 2023, we're harmonious.
You know what? You should have come into this segment with me after you talked about Pit Barrel, showing the picture that I sent you of the duck that I was working on for my next book that I had just made on a pit barrel cooker.
You love that pit barrel cooker.
If you could pull it up, I do love it. It works. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how there's a lot of heat at the bottom. You can hang something in it, and the protein at the bottom doesn't burn the F up before the shit at the top cooks. But it doesn't. It's amazing. Can you show that picture of the duck? No, you can't.
Now you know I can. Just give me 1 second. I got to find the right.
So I'm working on book number 6. It's a grilling book that will come out in 2024. And I sent my boy Greg, who, as he said, as he led into this, that we have a legitimate relationship with each other, and you don't.
That sounds weird.
And I sent him this. Because I had just listened to his interview with Noah, and then I said, "Oh, fitting." I was just listening to this, and then I just cooked this duck on his pit barrel. She can't find the picture. You throw my shit out, man.
How dare you?
Go.
Just takes me.
Look how beautiful that is.
It's incredible.
Look how beautiful that is.
Look at the golden color here. So I'm not no surprise to anybody that listens. I'm not a duck connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination. However, unlike a lot of other things that I show my ass on, I have had duck before, but it was oh crap. I'm going to say Maillard duck, but it's not. It's a Canadian Yeah, eating duck.
Mallard.
No.
Mallard.
It's not mallard. I'm not going to forget.
Maillard is what happens when you cook
that's
things.
the browning of meat. Somebody's going to know what the duck char, I think, was the name of it. But somebody in the instant chat, tell me what kind of duck I'm thinking about. But I've had that.
Yes. Let me just interrupt and say, before you say, I'm not a duck. What did you say? I'm not a duck expert?
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're an expert. It just matters that you try things. I say it all the time.
Moulard. Moulard duck.
Channel.
That's what it is. Moulard.
I say it. Okay, enough with you. I say it all the time on my YouTube channel. Don't eat the same thing all the time. Try new things. You don't want to be your last day on this planet and eat something that you've never had before and then be like, holy shit, I've missed that my whole life. That's what I think needs to happen. I think you need to try things. Get out of your comfort zone. It's the only way that we grow as people. So, all right, just do it.
So how did you like the duck out of the pit barrel? Did it render properly,
amazing.
Do you think?
I'm still working on it. I mean, you work on stuff for a book and you make it once, and if it's amazing and you love it, and I'm not one of these people that tries it on a whole bunch of other people. If I take a bite and I'm like, oh, holy F, this is fantastic. I love this. It's good. There's a couple things about that version of it that went a little bit beyond that picture that you just showed that I was not too happy with. So I'm now like reworking it. Now I feel like I'm getting into some freaking effing vortex, and I don't know that I'll get out of this duck vortex. But the chapter that is in is called Chicken and One Duck. Because I'm not going to do like 20 duck recipes in a book because most people are like you. I've had duck. I don't know if I'm in love with duck. So one good duck recipe. I want to encourage people to try something different. But so
is duck?
Can I just jump the gun?
Is duck readily available?
Oh, have you been to a Costco business center?
No.
Business center. You probably have them in Cleveland. So there's regular Costco that's for civilians. If you have a Costco card, you can also go to the Costco Business Center, and it would be a place that you would go if you were, if you had like a corner store and you bought a whole bunch of candy to have boxes out, and then people would get. If you wanted paper for your printers in a certain quantity, that kind of thing. It's sort of quantity things that are generally larger than Costco, but certain things. Anyway, they don't have reg duck at a regular Costco, but they have these gorgeous, they're frozen, but halal ducks, and they're really good. They're plump, they're juicy, they're fantastic. Put them on the Noah's pit barrel for about 3.5 hours till they got 180 degrees, and insanely delicious. Look, if you like chicken, just imagine chicken, but a little bit more romantic, a little bit more exciting, a little different. Try different things. I cannot stress that enough.
This shouldn't be shocking coming in from the instant chat from somebody called Chicken Fried Barbecue. You should chicken fry a duck. Ever thought about that? Is that going to be in a video upcoming potentially?
You know what? I don't know if it won't be, but I sent you a picture. We dry aged a chicken for 2 weeks. That episode hasn't aired yet. We dry aged a chicken for 2 weeks, and then we deep fried it. And I'm telling you, to a man, me, Max, Chance, all said, it was easily the most delicious chicken we've ever had. I didn't even brine it. I was so excited to get these chickens into the dry ager. I totally forgot to even brine them, which I would have dry brined them, and I forgot. They were unfucking believable. Oh, can I say fucking on your show?
We're on the internet. There's porno on the internet.
Good, just making sure. They were unfucking believable. Well, I know. I say that only because I just, but...
Do you remember the first time you were on the show, Sam?
You cut out... No.
You don't remember the first time? And then I sent you that highlight of all the F-bombs you dropped on the first time you were on the show?
I'm sorry, yes. Now that brings it back. But wait a sec. So why do you cut out what's his face saying, we'll do it live. Well, fucking do it live, whatever that is. Why do you cut the F out if you can?
Well, for you talking about this thing?
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yes. He says, fuck it.
Yeah,
we'll do it live.
know,
Why do you cut that out?
I just needed it quicker. It just adds a little bit. Like that's just
is that what it is?
Good enough.
Is
That's
that
a good pace,
That's
but
the
it's
reason.
just taking it. Yeah, of course.
You don't think the fuck it adds to it?
Not enough
Ladies
to
and gentlemen,
keep in.
Hey, wait, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, did you notice that silence?
I was evaluating. I'm listening into my head.
Rempe really thinking, wondering, wait, maybe I should have left the fucking.
No. The do it live, the way I have it, it's just the right time, and I'm neither here nor there on the fuck. It doesn't seem to bring anything more or less. The way I have it is perfect. That's why it's on there.
It does because of who he is, because of how he comes across. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right. What else?
You know what's interesting to me? Two things. First, a really quick thing. We've never met in person.
Never.
And I every so often we talk about that. I think if you listen, if you just tune, if this is the first time you're listening, watching, or on
however you're doing it.
Stupid thing. What is that thing called that I hate?
Clubhouse,
yeah. If you're the 2 or 18 people that are on that can never get through, or you're watching or you're listening, you would think that we were buddies that went way back and spent time together. We've never met.
I mean, we are buddies that go way back. 10 years, 12 years, maybe.
That's the point. We've never met.
I know, but isn't that the beauty of where technology is today? Even back when you were doing the Sam live cast, and I saw the thing that inspired me to even communicate with you was you were talking to Max and Lynn at the time. For the folks that are true fans will know those names, of course. Max still with you, but not Lynn anymore. You were talking to them. They were in a completely different room. You're out in the kitchen. You're doing part talk show, part cooking show, and you had the news anchor
podcast.
IFB in your ear.
Yes,
I saw you take it out one time, and I was like, wow, here's a guy that might be kind of normal like me. I had no idea what a star you were at that point, but I said, here's a guy who might be normal like me, and he's got this really neat thing. How the hell does he get one of those? And I wrote in, and you read the question right on the air. You gave the answer. I immediately went to whoever the hell it was and bought one for myself, and that was it. Like, that was my introduction to you, and then I had you on the show, and then you had me on your show, and it's been kismet ever since. But that was the original hook, was me asking you about your IFB.
But here's my point. Yes, the internet and the technology today brings people close together. But I do think that we act, and I'm not saying that we're like this because of technology. I think we're like this because we just have we have a thing,
a rapport.
From the beginning, we have a rapport together that I really like. But let's just put that aside for a second. I have a question here that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Sometime back in 2022, that was a year ago, whatever, you had a conversation with your embedded what do we call them? The dumb
embedded dumbspondents.
The embedded dumbspondents. Only two of them. You were talking about one of your questions to them was, will Jeremy Andrus?
Yeah. Will
Jeremy Andrus, the CEO of Traeger, still be the CEO at the end of the year? Was one of your 100% assurity questions?
Yes.
And I don't remember what anybody else said. I remember what you said. Absolutely not.
Yes. Guess what?
How did 2022 end for Jeremy Andrus?
It ended with him as being CEO of Traeger Grills. 100%.
Very good.
How did it work out for me?
To show you up.
Not too good.
Well, no, you're still look. Your shit's good. It's just you were just wrong on that one.
We can go back through some of my assurity picks through the year and see where I doubled or tripled down and was completely wrong. For instance, I think we might have brought Jeremy's CEO status up a couple different times through the year. I doubled down every time that he was not going to be there. But through business research and business lookings and stock prices and things that just made sense to me on why that could potentially happen. Plus, I'm not going to back off after I went ahead and put it out there for the first. And then secondly was the Green Mountain Grill thing where everybody else said that they would remain in business. I said that they were going to be out of business by the summertime. Once again, 100% wrong. I own it. I'm not very smart.
Maybe that's a thing you should do. Maybe you should go through your 100% of Shirty picks and just rank and see who came out on top.
That might be a good idea. Well, what we should do is start keeping track this year, and at the end of the year, we'll see who's more right or who's not. Yeah,
maybe you should do that.
We don't like to
look at the end of the year. See who's right, and then somebody gets a prize. I got everybody put some money into the pot, and the guy at the top prize gets the pot.
All right. Or we can give him a bottle of Hardcore Carnivore Black for your rubbing pleasure. It's got activated charcoal in there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, by the way, can we talk about this for a second?
What?
I said to you something about I'm working on the cookbook and something about a charcoal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Do you remember your words?
Not specifically, but I think it was something along the lines like activated charcoal and rub is stupid or something along those lines.
No.
What was it?
No.
It obviously seared.
Overplayed.
100%. I'm right.
What a dick.
I'm right.
Well, how is it overplayed?
Because everybody has one now. Overplayed.
Who's everybody? No, that is not true.
Oh, no?
You go listen, and you maybe in your world, but in my regular civilian world,
this is the world I cover. How can I live in somebody else's world? This is my world.
Talk about listen, you take yourself out of that little queen's throne that you find yourself in every week,
Kings,
and come down to where the regular civilians live like me. No, none of my friends know what the hell activated charcoal rub is. Exactly. Do your little queen wave and be off with yourself.
Overplayed, Sam. Overplayed. Next question, please.
By the way, I'm
King
Canadian
in the castle. King in the castle.
Listen, I'm Canadian, and so I can do this until tomorrow.
What happens tomorrow?
I become an American.
You naturalize?
That's right.
Really?
A Barbecue Central Show exclusive news update.
With 50 seconds left in this segment, Greg Rampey reporting from the breaking news desk here in Cleveland, Ohio, the city that breaks the most live fire breaking news across the nation. Nay, the globe. In San Diego, California, Sam, the cooking guy, has broken that he will renounce his citizenship and patronage to Canada and become wholly U.S. citizen. Thank God.
No, I didn't say that.
You just said it. I'll run the tape back.
No, I didn't. All I said was I become an American tomorrow.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Why now?
Well, I took the citizenship test about 4 months ago.
How many times did you fail?
I took it once. I passed. And she said, all right, so now you go upstairs to the 5th floor.
Yes.
You do the oath. You're an American. Except I was going back to Canada a week later. And when you do the oath, you have to turn in your green card. In my case, a green card. And had I turned it in and then went to Canada, coming back would have been very difficult. So I told her that, and she said, this is the inspector, the person, I don't know what her title was. She was very cool, though. And she goes, okay, so I'll just, this was in August. She goes, I'll put you down for the end of August once you're back to do the oath, and then you become an American. I go, great. That never happened. I couldn't get it scheduled. And it was just a nightmare. And finally, now tomorrow's my day. So 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it's not the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
It's the Pledge of Oath, which is different.
Do you want to practice?
No.
You sure?
I'll do it next month if you want me.
I have some.
I don't want to do it because I'm a Canadian.
I have some patriotic music to play underneath you if you want to go ahead and start it. Ready?
I can't do it. I don't have it. That is porn music, bro. That is not what they're going to be playing tomorrow when I'm there.
Sam, the cooking guy, I promise to be a
No, I will
faithful
not be
American.
saying that.
Oh, yeah.
I will not be saying that to this music.
I'm going to be
If
deep.
they play that music, I'll be very
deeply.
surprised.
I'm going to be deeply American. Oh,
It's not happening.
it's going to be so good.
Oh, maybe. That is not happening. No, that is not happening.
All right. Sam, please take a moment to gather yourself as I step away just for a moment.
Thank you.
And talk about our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills, who, once again, I was completely wrong in 2022. That's one thing we know I was wrong about, and I'm ashamed. Sorry, Jason. However, the fact remains that you still have two different lines to choose from, a choice line or a prime line. If you're somebody that likes to save some money, the choice line is right for you. If you're somebody that likes to spend a little extra money because you want 2 internal meat probes, you want Wi-Fi connectivity, you want an app that you can download to your phone and turn the grill on and off. You can adjust temperature up or down. You can make custom cook cycles. You can do everything with this app. All that you want, without ever having to leave the comfort of your Shaw's lounge, as long as you have help to bring the food to the cooker and then once again out of the cooker once it's done. You also get some headlamps in the main cooking chamber, a little bit more of a robust build on that prime line chassis over the choice, but still both great cookers. The Peak and the Ledge are in the prime line, and the choice is only one to choose from. The good news is that my favorite accessory, the pizza oven insert, is available for both the choice and the prime line sizes. If you like to be a little bit more mobile, you can get the Trek. You can take it to tailgates of football games or the impending baseball season. Who knows what you're up to, but as long as you are mobile, the Trek can go with you. It plugs into the receptacles in your car, 12-volt receptacles that you might have. It was really the birthplace of 12-volt technology for all Green Mountain Grills now. Only sold through dealers. Find one near you, and then see the choice, see the prime in person, pick the one that's best for you, get educated on how it works. Success once you get home. Green Mountain Grills, longtime sponsor of this show. Find a dealer near you by going to greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com, and we are back with more Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we are back. And Sam the Cooking Guy back with us as well. TheCookingGuy.com, his website. You can also check out really cool knives and shirts and other stuff at shopstcg.com. I got to tell you, I'm playing around with the 10.5-inch Statement chef's knife, or as well we call it in the Rempe household now, the hatchet. I'm sorry, sorry, not the hatchet. That would be doing it a disservice. The machete. The machete. And
it might be doing it a disservice unless you were a murderer, maybe then.
So we call it the machete. But maybe this isn't oddly enough to you, but I find, so I got the 10.5-inch Statement chef's knife, but then you also included the 5.5-inch Nikiri knife, which is the little brother or little sister. Sentoku, right?
That's okay.
I didn't know. I mean, it was cute. It's substantially smaller than most of the other knives from Sam the Cooking Guy that I have in my arsenal. And by the way, they all cook knives. As I was asking Malcolm Reed, it's probably a topic that we don't cover nearly as much as we should here on the show. Having a great set of knives is really imperative to anybody that's in the barbecue industry or the grilling industry, especially when it comes to prep. Obviously, cutting for service. You want to have something that is sharp and safe, but feels good. But I don't know if we ever even talk about how to go through finding a great knife for you, because it's very personal. One size doesn't fit all. Maybe in
100%.
February we can talk a little bit more in depth on that. All a long
down
way
for
for
that.
me to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to say, hey, the 5.5 Sentoku was cute, but I didn't know if I was going to really get after it. And after the last week of having it in the knife drawer, I am going to that thing more and more. It might grow to be the second favorite knife. Nothing's going to usurp the 8-inch chef's knife. That thing is easily my favorite knife ever. Very versatile, fits great in the hand, does everything I ever needed to. But the 5.5 Sentoku is really starting to come up for many of the other jobs otherwise.
Listen, I say this all the time. Here's what matters with a knife. Of course, it has to be sharp. That's a given. You can't get around it. It has to be sharp. A sharp knife will be your best friend in the kitchen. But it needs to be a knife that fits your hand, that you're comfortable with. I said this yesterday or today in front of the camera. I was at a cookware store a bunch of years ago, and I heard a saleswoman selling knives to a female patron, and the woman that was buying the knives was tiny, 5'2", 5'3", something like that. And the salesperson said, "Here's what you have to have," and she's listing a bunch of knives, and she gets to like a 9 or 10-inch chef's knife. You must have this. And I thought to myself, that's just fucking madness. She's not telling her she needs a 9 or 10-inch chef's knife because she needs it. She's telling her she needs that because she wants the commission. A knife you will use will be one that fits in your hand. A woman that was 5'1", 2 or 3, whatever it was, is going to have smaller hands, and a 8, 9, or 10-inch chef's knife is going to be probably bigger than most people that size will be comfortable with. If it fits in your hand and you're comfortable with it, that's a knife for you. If it's a big ass knife that feels uncomfortable just because some clerk tells you should have that, don't fucking buy it. Don't. My wife does not like the larger knives. She's comfortable with the smaller ones. She loves the 4.5-inch paring knife. She loves the 5.5-inch Sentoku. That's what she goes to all the time. But listen, if I'm cutting a turkey or breaking that, or cutting a roast or something, I want a big ass knife. That 10.5-inch that I sent you, that's the one that I want to use for that kind of stuff. But listen, just be comfortable with it. It's a knife. It's sharp. It's dangerous. Don't do something stupid. Buy something that feels okay in your hand. Don't let somebody tell you that you have to have something this big because they want the commission, because that's just effed up.
Last week also, during the Embedded Correspondence segment, there was something you wanted to take me to task on, which was me asking the fellas, the dumb spondents, and then also John, the embedded correspondent, if they thought it was true or not that pellet cookers provide they don't have a overwhelming smoke profile to them. And you called me whenever you were listening to it, and you said, look,
2 seconds after I heard you say those stupid words.
Yeah. You said smoke profile is completely wrong.
It's completely wrong.
It is?
What's the smoke profile of those pellets? Oh, they're sweet, they're bitter, they're extra smoky, they're spicy. Smoke profile doesn't say that it's a shit ton of smoke in your face, and that's what you were going for, am I right?
Yeah, that the traditional knock against pellet cookers is it's a light smoke versus a heavy smoke.
Yeah.
And that you don't think that's the same thing?
If you had said that, that's okay. But what's the smoke profile? No. Smoke profile, and look, I'm not going to belabor the point. The fact that at least for the next I don't know, for 12 hours or something, I still speak the Queen's English. Listen, no. Smoke profile is not the amount of smoke on it. It would be the general nature of that smoke.
All right. Well, I'm going to put it out to the folks on Instant Chat right now. With smoke profile, the incorrect use of the American English, not the Queen's English. By the way, as we look at the YouTube chat question this evening, I don't know if you were up to speed on what the YouTube chat question is this evening tonight, but are you going to do the butter candle trend on social media right now? 80% of the folks are saying hell no, they won't. 20% now are weighing in saying that they absolutely will do the butter candle trend that, as 2023 turned, shot off like a rocket to space. Are you familiar with the butter candle trend right now, Sam?
100%.
Yes. Are you going to do
As I am with the butter boards and all that kind of stuff. And I'm here to tell you that I am 100% absolutely not fucking going to do that. I have no interest in that. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. 100%.
I might have
do it.
I might have. No, I would never. I don't do trends because I'm usually behind them and they've already shot. The only trend I've done. Wait. Remind me to come back to my trend.
Trends.
Hold on. Remind me to come back to trend. I think I've found this. By the way, hopefully this is the first time you were on the show.
When we shot this and put it on YouTube.
Wow, that is totally not the right one. Well, I tried. I was digging through the break to try and find that F-bomb thing, but it didn't work out. I'll continue to do it. Maybe we'll
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, it's you should have it somewhere.
I do have potty mouth. I admit that, but
it was great. So
what are you gonna do? They're only words, right?
I typically don't follow trends, but in 2022, I started what I think was the trend of 2022, which was mayo as a binder on meat. For instance, turkey, on brisket, of course. Brisket was the main one where I caught a lot of traction. A prime rib, of course. And then, because I'm a complete dope on Christmas, what did I not do on my prime rib? I did not add a mayo binder to hold my rub. I look like a charlatan running around here hosting a show talking about I'm a trendsetter. I took that guy Dick Paste to task when he claimed that he was the mayo binder starter, but I beat him down like the bitch he is and showed him who the boss was. This was my trend. And then when it came to me to use it, it didn't even cross my mind, not even on my radar, to put mayo on that prime rib. I couldn't be more embarrassed.
Let me tell you something. Mayo on anything as a binder is one of the more genius moves ever.
Of course. Thank you for recognizing that.
It really is. I've done it.
I mean, after I introduced you to it.
It's making it I don't know if you did, but it's making an appearance in the next cookbook. It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Wow.
Mayo makes everything better. It really does.
I don't know if we're keeping score here, Sam, but the most recent Sam the Cooking Guy cookbook, you shit all over my choripollo, and yet there's a recipe in there for choripollo. And what did we just learn? What did we just learn? You shit all over my mayo binder, and now my mayo binder is going to be in your next book.
Please.
I better get a co-author spot on this bitch.
Let's just go. There's no co-authoring for you. No, there's not. So tomorrow we will be shooting. By the way, I said that in my best Canadian accent ever. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be shooting. One of the videos we'll shoot will be for a San Jose style burrito.
Whoa.
Sent in by shit. Now I feel bad.
What makes it San Jose? Just because that's where it came from.
Stand by. Just let me read the guy's name. Hold on, and you'll like this. Here we go.
I know who lives in San Jose. Joey Chaw's Chestnut, the biggest celebrity to come out of San Jose.
I can't find it. God damn it.
By the way, that's a fact.
So here's the deal. It's a burrito made out of chicken, chorizo, refried beans, and a cheese white sauce.
We call that
We're
Caso
making that
Blanco,
tomorrow.
where I come from.
Okay, great. There you go, Mr. Mexico. Thank you for that. Because nobody would have known nobody understood the cheese white sauce until you put it into
Could be anything.
The Spanish.
Could be anything.
But here's the point.
Oh.
I got that email from the guy going, hey, why don't you try your hand at this? And I was like, oh, holy shit, that sounds outstanding. So there's chicken and there's chorizo. So there's your chori pollo.
Yeah. See, it's showing up in many different places.
No, you didn't. You didn't start it. Some restaurants, some fake Mexican restaurant that you go to started it.
I never said I started it. I mentioned it
one
one time, and you laughed at me.
Flatbread. I have it as a flatbread on one of our restaurant menus, and it's delicious.
What's it called?
I can't remember. Some chori pollo stupid thing.
That's right, chori pollo. And this song plays every time we say chori pollo going forward, forever and ever, amen.
Which, by the way, the people of Mexico are embarrassed by that song and by the name of that because
what?
No
my
proper,
party.
As I said, listen. Yes. As I said, no proper Mexican establishment has got that on their menu.
I don't.
It's only the pretend Mexican restaurants with super. I don't know.
I would love to see you start backpedaling at this point.
I'm not.
Now hold on a second. Somebody
drinking a Mexican beer
sent this in. Smoking Joe is weighing in again. I'm loving Sam's watch. Fuck it. I have a man crush on Sam. There, I said it. All right, so let's blow it up. Now, I have to take you to task and say that is not what is the now traditional Sam watch timepiece. That's the old school Nixon 5130.
I like to change it up. It's actually the darker version of the 5130.
Oh, okay.
I have the silver version. This is the darker. I don't know what they call it, platinum. I don't know what to call this. This is darker than the silver one. Gunmetal. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Well,
thank you.
Very good. I was wondering what he was referencing, but I almost have that same watch, by the way, but I have just the stainless bracelet. I don't have the gunmetal.
But listen, let him have his man crush.
Hey, he's second in line behind me. Who's he kidding?
Do you have a man crush on anybody?
Yeah, you. Are you kidding?
No, not me. Take me out of it. Who is?
Oh, man crush.
Gotta think of who I would have a man. Now I'm trying to think of who I'd have a man crush on.
Who do I have a man crush on?
Oh, boy.
Oh? Let's see.
I'll tell you next month. I can't think of who my man crush would be.
Man crush? Like in food?
No, like in anything. Who do you see that you go, I like the guy's whole thing? Not in a sexual way,
no, I
but
get
just,
it. I get it.
You just you admire. You're a fan. You're a fan. Come on, who is it? Somebody you gotta like.
I don't know.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but everybody
Jeremy Renner. I don't know.
Ooh. Thoughts and prayers to Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody like right off the top of my head that I have a man crush on. No.
A couple friends that you don't know that
I do.
Yes.
He's not famous. But I have a man crush on a loyal Centralite who also happens to be a shared passionado of cigars from Minnesota, Jeff Andrizzi. Man crush with him. We share cigar tasting notes. We share cigars, not like, at the same time, but I'll send him some. He sends me some. We talk about the different whole things. It's a whole, love scene going on with us and cigars.
Okay, so I like that. I have a question. I like cigars.
Yeah.
But I don't like a giant one. What is a smaller cigar that I could have and enjoy and not feel like I was wasting $30 by stubbing it out halfway through?
Yeah, so I think you're probably going to want to look at the Corona size.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, depending on how much time you have, you could go.
Yeah.
So if you have an hour or less, I would say.
I don't think I would want to smoke a cigar for more than an hour.
All right. So,
but definitely less.
Was it last year or whatever? I sent you a box of Oliva Serie V Melanio cigars. So those were in what they call Robusto size. So typically a little less than 5 inches long and about 45 or 48 inch like ring gauge, which is the circumference.
And fully enjoyed, but I feel like sometimes less would be more for me. And I don't want like a little cigarello thing with the plastic. What are those? Those wine? What are those?
Yeah,
things
like
called?
the white owls or the Havatampers or the Swisher Sweets or something like. No, like you want a premium handmade cigar.
When I used to smoke a lot of weed, I would appreciate a Swisher Sweet later into the night. I just don't do that much anymore.
So I think you want to look at the Corona size and see where you're going to be at. I mean, that's still probably going to run you about. See, here's the thing with any decently made premium cigar. If you want to be in 30 minutes or less, then you're probably going to want to smoke something that you enjoy. And size isn't necessarily the overarching dictator, where you can smoke however much you want and then let it extinguish itself and then come back
go back to it
a day or two later and then relight it.
Here's what I need to do. Yeah. I need to come to Cleveland. We need to go to, was it Mabel's?
Go to Mabel's for barbecue.
Go to Mabel's for barbecue. Go back to your place. Sit on the deck.
Yeah.
And spark up a couple fatties. And then just you teach me.
Yeah, I would love to impart my cigar wizardry on you.
Let's do it. All right. Okay.
So
when's your birthday?
July 10.
There you go. Okay, I'll work towards that.
All right,
I'll come out.
We'll check it out. Anything else happening before we reconvene in February?
Let me think. Nope. Working on the book. It's due soon. Really got to get my ass in gear. No. Just don't eat the same thing all the time. Try duck.
Yeah.
Push yourself out of your comfort level. That's the important thing.
In February, we're going to be talking more in depth about knives. We're going to be talking about also the outline that I made that we didn't get to most of. And we'll also talk more about
Do we ever?
Something brand new that I never even had occurred to me that you would do, which would be dry aging poultry. So we'll talk more about that, which blew my mind.
By the way,
blew my mind.
I'm still alive to talk about it. So apparently it's okay.
All right.
And what's crazy is you don't have to cut off all the outside ugly shit like you do with beef. You just cook it.
Yeah. Well,
fantastic.
I can't wait to dig into that. Fantastic. And I will find the F-bomb editorial that I made. We'll replay that in February as well. In the meantime, go to thecookingguy.com or subscribe to Sam's YouTube channel if you don't already, which I'm sure most of us do. And you will see him in the second hour of the first Tuesday going forward in 2023.
And I'll see you July 10th.
Those are your words. I'm not holding you to anything, but those are your words.
Let's work to that, shall we?
And next time we talk, we will talk to the American Sam the Cooking Guy. How about that? Got a ring to it. Thank you, sir. That's Sam the Cooking Guy right there, and we wish him good luck in the naturalization project or process tomorrow. Not a project. It was a project before. Now it's just a process.
Whole packers, full
great.
racks, legs and thighs.
Hold on. Give me a damn minute. Here we go. Big Papa Smokers is the one-stop online shop for all things barbecue, a curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies, getting you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Known for the championship rubs and seasonings, popular flavors like Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, Double Secret Steak Rub. 13 perfectly balanced flavors transforming ordinary meals into extraordinary meals. Also the owner of Granny's Barbecue Sauce. If you're looking for new go-to sauce, it will please everybody. Granny's is the one you're going to want to try. And they're selling cookers, and you know this. Looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use? Check out that Mac 2-star General Pellet Cooker. How many of you got one for the holidays? I hope all of you did. Big Papa's is the exclusive Mac dealer, even offering special packages. If you're not a fan of pellet smokers or you don't know what grill you need, call them, 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727, or shop their website, at bigpopasmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA smokers.com. We're back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
Injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
Thanking Sam the Cooking Guy for joining me for no less than 2 segments. So, for those of you watching currently, by the way, if you're listening to this on podcast, don't even bother. Don't bother. It's already gone if you're listening to on podcast. Fire up the old email machine and send me an email, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. In the subject line, put Hardcore Carnivore Black in the subject line. Don't put anything else. First one in gets the bottle of Hardcore Carnivore Black from Jess Pryles herself, who we will see on the show on the third Tuesday in the second hour. By the way, we will have some brand new guests coming up in January as well, and confirmed end of February, and I'll tease it now, coming back on the show after a triumphant debut, Rodney Scott will be joining us once more, I believe on the 28th, so the end day of February, the month itself. Let's go ahead and get out of here. All the way back in the first hour, Malcolm Reed joined us, took him from the hunting blind into the studio. We talked, and now he's going back into the wild to continue the hunting ways. We also talked with Cal Phelps from the National Barbecue Association and the National Barbecue News, or the Barbecue News. We talked about the upcoming NBBQA conference, which is going to be taking place on February 15th through the 18th in Orlando, Florida, at the Wyndham Orlando Resort there, the Celebration area, if I remember that correctly. But double check me, nbbqa.org, second hour, Sam the Cooking Guy. How about that? Hey, we have a winner all the way from Hawaii, aloha, to Lance Owen. He wins. Lance, resend me your shipping info, and I will get out to you just as slowly as possible because Hawaii is very far. But don't worry, it keeps well. I'm sure you'll love it. Again, getting back to it, we thank Sam the Cooking Guy for joining us in the second hour. Always a fun and enjoyable conversation, and you never know where we're going to zig and zag. If you're first time listening, appreciate you coming in tonight at any point and sharing your time with us. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11, and then it is podcasted after the fact and the best of show on Friday. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Bye-bye.
This is Michigan embedded correspondent John Solberg, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.